competing for the $10,000 grand prize are Gary Casey of Pittsburgh, who qualified with a 4.62. Gary Carrington of Plastow, New Hampshire, who qualified with a 4.51. Tom Olszta of Sturbridge, who qualified with a 4.48. Joe Tavernese of Lynn, who qualified with a 4.40. And Paul Berger of Hopedale, who qualified with a 4.27. Everybody, welcome. It really is the 16th, and it's going to be different this time, just a little. We're going to have a stepladder format. To win the $10,000 first prize, which will go to the first place, then it'll start out with number 5 going against number 4. The winner of that will then meet number 3. Each of these will be single strings. The winner of that will face number 2. And after we have established a winner out of these 4, then Gary Casey, who is top seed, will face that man in a 2-string championship for $10,000 first prize, $5,000 second prize, $2,500 third prize, $1,500 fourth prize, and $1,000 to fifth place winner. And each of our bowlers tonight will receive a handsome trophy. It'll be coming from the Ace Trophy Company of Boston. All right, we have a young man here who I think you've seen once or twice on bowling when I'm not doing it on Channel 5, Mr. Ed Harding, and I guess you have prepared a little something about our number top seed, huh? All this is for you?
All, yeah, I know, really. But first of all, I want to thank you for calling me young.
Well, at my age, I'll tell you.
16 of these things we've done, huh? You've done.
Uh-huh.
This is the third one I've done, and by far this is the largest crowd that I've seen, so we want to thank you all for showing up here live. You guys are great. John has outlined exactly who will be bowling for us today and what type of format we'll be using. And with all due respect to all of the bowlers, there has been a remarkable run late in Don's show, the Candlepin Singles Show. A remarkable run by a bowler by the name of Gary Casey. If you haven't been with us, it has really been terrific. And if you haven't been, we've prepared something to bring you up to date on Gary Casey, so take a look.
Gary started his role last week. From the very beginning, it seemed as though he was on a mission. In the 10th box of the first string, his first ball, a strike. His second ball, a strike. All that was left was to cap it.
And now, you know what this one means if he gets it. He did it! He did it! $1,000 for 3 in a row!
His 3-string total last week was 369, but that was to be only a mere warm-up of what was to come earlier today. He started hot, a 136 first string, followed by a 138 second string. But going into the third, he still needed to roll a 152 just in order to qualify for this show. He started slowly with a couple of 10s and a strike, but then he really starts to cook. First, a pair of spares in the 4th and 5th boxes, then a couple of strikes in the 6th and 7th, followed by another pair of spares in the 8th and 9th. That brings us to the 10th box.
And he has a strike. 2 more bonus balls to go. And another. Wow. 182. And how many more did he get? He got 6 more. 462. Wow. Wow. Aren't you glad you watched today?
Isn't that terrific? It was a great run for him. And again, we mentioned, with all due respect to what the guys have done, Gary's done great. And it's kind of funny, Don, because as we were airing that, he's trying to hide in the middle of all these people here. And he has a great tan, but he's still blushing. Not only was he able to qualify for this show off of what he's done, but he's vaulted all the way to the #1 seed. So it was a terrific run. Gary, congratulations.
Think you want to paper this?
Who's that man over there?
Now, we want to bring in another fellow who knows the pressure of bowling under these lights and bowling in this tournament. Dick O'Connell, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be with us again.
Glad to be back with you, two gentlemen.
Look at this with the tie and the suit and the whole works, huh?
You're going to make me blush.
We're used to seeing him out there like that, huh?
Right.
Right.
I think he'd rather be there, wouldn't you?
That's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you, we are the three voices that you will be hearing. However, we are not the stars. These are the stars, and we'll get to them right after this.
This live Candlepin Bowling Championship is brought to you in part by Cotter True Value.
Little pressure, Dick, huh, when it's a one-stringer?
The very first two balls are the toughest two balls that you can throw, you know. Once you get started and you get on a roll, then you usually get going.
Oh, what's a nice pickup, huh?
Paul got started a little bit earlier. Paul's a veteran of the show. He's been in this position before.
And he's done well. He usually qualifies with not the biggest score, and then he sweats it out and sweats it out and sweats it out.
And ends up bowling all night.
Just missed.
I think the format's a little bit fairer for all the bowlers now. It makes it more interesting.
Good start. Now Joe Tavernese of Lynn. And I think there are a few folks from Lynn who are here. Just a few.
Sounds like there's a few boys from Lynn here.
Joe's got a tougher one to try to convert. It's 3 pins, but he, as you can see, has 5, 6, and 10 with a piece of wood right in front of, on an angle, the 6-pin.
The right-hand wood, if he plays it just above the line, he may get some action off the wall.
Let's see if he can get that. He got the action off the wall, but
didn't quite take out the 10-pin.
10-pin didn't go. All right, it's a 10.
Don Riley is going to help us
Yeah.
keep the alleys clean of pins. Joe qualified, by the way, with a 440, and Paul did with a 427.
Don Riley is our live line judge, and that's because our good friend Ralph Stewart is at home recovering from emergency gallbladder surgery, and all of us are anxious to have him get back, and we want you back nice and healthy. Joe Taverny leaves the 4 horsemen right side. How do you like to play this, Dick?
I like to shoot him in between, right in between the 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Just like that.
Where he went.
All right, Paul Berger coming up.
Joe made that look easy.
Yes, he did. It was like a clinic. Paul got released that ball just a little too soon.
Now, Paul's shot here would be just the opposite.
Yeah.
You want to go in the 1-2.
1-2. And he did it.
I'll tell you what, if there are butterflies, they are certainly not appearing.
No, I think they're gone now. Now this started.
That's one of the most disappointing leaves, obviously, because you want to hit the head pin, but you want to hit it on either side.
Oh, certainly. I mean, that really takes the wind right out of
Oh, he almost pulled it
you.
off.
Beautiful shot.
What a great clear out, huh?
To get a 10 out of a spread eagle like that is, you know, is a good box.
And he did.
It's a good box.
So Paul has 50 through 4. Joe is working on a spare. This will be the fill. Oh, what a fill!
Perfect strike. Perfect strike.
I suspect we're going to see some high scores here tonight. This is a very good scoring bowling alley.
On the first ball, he gets 6.
His ball breaks in there nice, so If he goes in the pocket again, he should carry it.
Wow, are we seeing shots being made?
That's a crackerjack start, and not only that, it's 3 marks in a row. So we're looking at that already.
Well, it's got to go right at that front one.
The bonus money is the same, in case you're wondering, as our regular show. 3 marks in a row, yes. $50 in bonus money. And Paul almost pulled it off.
Didn't quite catch it.
I think the amazing thing as you watch this type of bowling, when you consider the pressure and the live audience and the television audience and the fact that it's only one string, and yet they're doing it almost like a clinic.
The pressure up there right now, people wouldn't even understand. I mean, it's very warm in here tonight also, so.
Paul got a thin hit. Now he's got a very unusual leave to work on.
Paul wants to get like a 9 out of this. 8
Sure.
or 9 anyways. Preferably a 9.
He can kick that piece of wood over to get the 7, and maybe he'll get a possible, I suppose he could get them all. Almost did, didn't he?
Almost did. He almost did.
All right, now Joe Taverny. Working on the spare. Got him off. Right on his spare.
Joe's got it going in high gear right now.
You know, Dick, we've talked about this in shows past, but when you start this hot, is it tough to stay this hot?
No, usually once you get in a groove and you gain a few pins, you can usually stay in that groove.
Spread eagle -1, which was the 9-pin in back. And it's the same situation where you are obviously trying to hit the head pin and trying to load up with maybe another strike or a big 8 or 9 pin drop. Oh, that hurt.
Joe's just got to forget that box and come right back like that box didn't happen.
He probably will forget it, too.
Tough box to forget,
But through boxes scored, though, it's only cost him the 4 pins in the scoring. So
Now Paul comes too full on the head pin.
That's the 3rd time Paul's gone through the middle.
Had the same leave that Joe did. In other words, left the 9-pin, otherwise it would have been a full spread eagle. Makes a 9 out of it.
Not to put any pressure back on Joe, Paul's going to have to come back here with a mark, some kind of a mark.
Very, very disappointing when that happens. Even though you say to yourself, look, I did what I'm supposed to do. I hit the head pin.
He was just coming a little stiff.
first ball is just so vital to the whole posture of the box, though, you know?
First ball is your whole game.
All right, he left it open with a 9 and an 8. And Joe Taverny's already leading by 20.
All Joe really has to do is just go right for that front pin. Hopefully it catch the back wood.
Got it. Get back.
Not exactly the way I expected it to go.
That's a classic definition of a backdoor spare. Huh? Watch it come right back in. He collects the wood.
Now watch it come
Seven
back.
knocks
There
over
it is.
and piece of wood comes back and knock it out.
Joe Taverny. And he loads up with 8, but he has a 6-7 split.
This shot's here, a tough one. That front wood there, he's got to catch it on the right-hand end and hope the ball takes the pin.
Got it!
He got the other piece of wood in back.
He took the other piece of wood out of the back there. I didn't
Right.
think he would carry that.
He's increased his lead to 29 pins.
Paul has a single pin to pick up here. And he doesn't miss that one.
Paul really needs a strike right here.
He started off great with spare 10 and then spare, but then he started to chop wood.
see the look in his face? He's bowling in the 10th box. So this could be his last box of the evening.
Tough night for Paul.
Yeah. So disappointing for Paul Berger, obviously.
Joe's got that ball working. It's like when he was the state champ.
He's got to start saving some of those now, though.
Joe's always bowled well in this house.
He almost did it. He got a 9 for the fill. Joe Taverny wins the first string and moves up 1 rung on the ladder. Next, he will face Tom Oster of Sturbridge, who qualified with a 4.48 right after this. Now, as we move to the second of our matches, Tom Oster will be facing the challenge of Joe Tavernese because of the way they finished in the ladder. Tom was number 3, so he, in a sense, acts as defending champion, though we were doing an ordinary show. That is to say that Joe becomes the challenger and bowls first. Boy, oh boy.
And it's still shaking.
It's shaking, and so is Joe, but from some of that body English he put on it.
Joe's been under these spotlights in this type of a show before. He finished 3rd in 1987, defeating Tommy Olszta before losing to Peter Flynn.
Both these bowlers are veterans in this show. Tommy has 3 wins under his belt already.
So is the guy who just talked. Has two big wins.
He made it. Nice shot by Joe.
Now let's see whether Tommy has it. Here's a shot there as it goes over and gets the 10-pin or the spare.
I'll tell you what, Don, I've been watching Tommy in the mixed doubles the last 8 weeks, and he and Tony Marie Baldinelli have just been playing strong, solid, consistent.
Not an easy one to convert here because of the way that 9-pin is in the back. He was trying to start a domino effect, apparently, huh?
That's what it looked like. It looked like he tried to play it outside, had the ball go into this 9-pin for him.
Yeah. So it's a 7 to start with.
Now the butterflies are in Tommy's stomach right now because he's the new guy.
Well, that's the pressure of the 1 string, too. I mean, if you have
That's
one
right.
bad box, you're in trouble. You could be in trouble.
Now he thinks I've got 9 to go.
Tommy's just missing the head pin to the right.
He's got a 4 horsemen set up here, huh? Like he did in the first box.
He'll try to split the pocket.
All right. That'll give him a little lift.
Obviously, a much sweeter strike into the pocket of Tommy Olszta in that ball.
Joe Tavernese. Oh, baby.
Joe really has the ball working.
This is where he did it in the last game. He just went 3 marks in a row and took off.
He feels it right now, doesn't he, huh?
Oh, yeah. Joe's all pumped up now. He's throwing an excellent ball. He's on that head pin. He's dropping 9-10.
There is wood down, but he can go at it cleanly.
He's all over it.
Once again, 3 marks in a row for Joe Tavernese.
Tommy himself is so explosive. You know, he comes right back all the time.
Now, 2 in a row for Tom.
That's a tough lead for Tommy.
Yes, it is.
That width to the left may roll in a playable spot.
That's
think
all
he
you can
may
hope
go
for,
for
isn't it?
Myself, that's where I would be going.
He did, but he
just
couldn't
missed
get
it.
quite far enough to the left of it.
This is an important part of this match. Through the box to score it, Olszta's 7 pins down, but Tavernese is looking to fill.
He's at, for Joe, 60 plus 2 more, 68 through 4.
And he should be able to drop this and mark again.
Just missed.
Yeah.
He has a 16-pin advantage right now through the 4 boxes that have been scored by both bowlers.
Joe's hoping to get another mark here to really put the pressure on Tommy. Especially after just missing that 2-pinner.
6 and 9. They are the 2 pins.
All over that one. I've seen Tommy make this shot a lot of times over the years. It's starting to do it again.
Yeah. Now you can see we have the 4, 7, which finally go down as a piece of wood comes across. Here's Tom now. And that's not the leave he wanted.
Now that's
If he
second,
hits
third
this one
time.
the way he hit it earlier, he'll take them all. The way Joe Tavernese is bowling, you can't leave the box open.
No, you can't. Joe's throwing too good a ball right now.
Come on, Joe.
That spoke too soon.
Just too full on the head pin. See how close he can come to making the spread eagle. Nope.
3 more, 3 more.
Joe will settle for a 9 here.
Dick, you know how the bowler likes to hold the ball usually out in his fingers. Is there any tendency when it gets pressure and things are going against him that you maybe start to squeeze it a little bit?
Oh, yeah, that happens a lot. And sometimes you don't even realize you do it.
Yeah.
That was a big break for Joe right there, having a corner fall.
He doesn't have a clean shot at it. There's a roadblock in front.
No, but if he goes right at it, he should carry right in.
Looks like it came off the wall.
Yeah, it did.
I believe he called a lob on him.
Watch it, watch it. Came back. Actually, see how it struck and then the wood got it.
Was that a lob?
Yeah, they called a lob on him.
It was a lob. There is so much noise here, it's difficult to tell. As we've told you, Don Riley is the lob line judge. Tim Michelle is acting as referee, and you occasionally will see him behind the bowler who is on lane number 9. That's the one that Tom Oster's on right now. He's got a yellow shirt on, and sitting beside him is Bruno DeFeo, who is the alternate. Obviously, had one of these bowlers been unable to make it. Bruno, who was eliminated by Gary Casey in the program which was aired at noontime today, was eliminated at that time, but he becomes the alternate. Now, oh, what a shot! What a shot! Watch as that 6-pin comes over and takes 4-7.
And it took the 4 out before it ricocheted around. Wonderful.
Joe comes back with a little bit of an answer.
That lob cost him 10 pins right there, but he come right back from it. Good thing there was a fat piece of wood.
Yeah, I'll say. Otherwise, he's going to miss it by about 2 inches.
Ready?
The action Joe's getting is unbelievable.
Okay, if somebody opened the door, it might go over.
Oh, unbelievable.
That's a bowler's nightmare right there.
Well, when you have
with
a
a piece of wood right in front of
advantage.
us.
What it is the shot is too easy. You just take it for granted.
Well, did you see what he did on the previous box? He rolled a softball and almost missed the one pin that was sitting there then. It's very interesting now. Olszta's an explosive finisher.
You never count Tommy out.
Now this is the fill on a mark, and now he's dropped the hammer.
First bonus ball. Not what he wanted. 4.
He needs this mark.
No.
Joe squeaked that one out.
Look at Joe.
So Joe
Taverny.
Tavernese has done it. He has climbed another rung on the ladder despite the fact that he had a log called on him. And he missed an easy spare.
Yes, he did. He got lucky on that one, but he still bowled a good score.
So look at, you can tell by the expression on his face. Did you see as he looked, he rolled his eyes up towards heaven as much as to say, wow, I was lucky to get by that one. Okay, now he moves on to face Gary Carrington. And this will also be a one-stringer to determine who is going to face Gary Casey, the top seed, in a 2-string final. We'll get to Gary Carrington facing the challenge now of Joe Tavernese, who has won the first 2 right after this. To another one-string match. He almost pulled it off.
Nice try by Joe. This match has proved to be interesting. Gary's been in this position several times.
Look at, now, Joe is really sweating now because, as you mentioned, this building is really warm tonight.
It is very warm here tonight.
How's that affecting him now? Do we wait and see?
As long as he doesn't have to sit down and wait very long in between boxes, it shouldn't bother him. Most of our tournaments are 10-string matches anyways. And
All right, a 10 and a 9. Now Gary Carrington, who was the top seed until noontime today. Well, actually about 1 o'clock today.
that show was unbelievable this afternoon.
Gary had qualified with a 451.
Look, we've seen, this is the 3rd time we've seen that leave, which is a 5-6-10. Will he try to use the wood over on the left?
If he goes for the wood, I'd go off the cap. He played it down low and tried to spin it into it.
Got to credit him for an aggressive move, though, right?
He's only got one shot. He has to go for the gusto.
Yes.
He's got to go for them all.
How aware are they of what the other fellow has done? I mean, it was a disappointing, you know, Taverny's not marking in the first box. Might that allow Carrington to be a little more gambling in his first box?
I don't think so. I think you just get up there and just try to do the best you can.
Just try to stay within your own ability, right?
That's it. You try to be the first one to get the first mark up there,
Of
naturally.
course. Yeah.
And right now, through the 2 boxes of this match, we are void of that first mark.
So they are tied after 2 boxes. Joe Tavernese again.
There's a ball Joe's been throwing all night.
There's that first mark that Dick just mentioned.
Right pocket hit.
That's a tough lead.
Sure is, with no wood.
Joe's position right now, I just get the 2 pins for the fill and get the 10 for the box.
He gave it a try.
He almost cut it over. Tough shot to cut, though.
Smart
It sure
ball.
is.
Smart ball. He fills it with a 9. That's
Right.
a smart way to play it.
carry for Gary. Goes right on the 5-pin. The wood should spin right into the 7.
Nope.
Didn't quite catch the 5-pin solid enough.
3 years ago, you beat Gary Carrington by 10 pins for the championship. You're second in a row. He's a tough competitor, huh?
Oh, he's very, very tough. I bowled with him up in the world tournaments, and
He'd have to draw on every ounce of his experience and just his composure now, being in the one-string situation he's in.
he's hitting the head pin, but he's getting some of them tough leaves up there.
That's a tough one, all right. 4 and 10.
He's playing it smart. He's just pinning them one at a time here. Still has 6 boxes to go.
So in the first 4 boxes, we have had just 1 mark. And we're going to take a look at that scoreboard at the end of the 4. It's an 11-pin lead at the moment. And the score right now is Tavernese 48 and Carrington 37.
Look at his
Now
shirt, look at
ready
his
to
brow.
roll in the 5th box.
Get over! Get over!
How can that pin stay up?
He moved that 5-pin almost in front of where the 9-pin should be. He didn't miss that one. Joe's got to have his confidence up there right now. 11-pin lead plus another mark with only 5 to go.
Joe Tavernese, and he has a strike. We have mentioned that the building is rather hot, but that's because there are just so many people in here. The air conditioning is on, but it's just not making much impression on the big crowd. And Gary Carrington finally unloads in a typical Gary Carrington strike.
That's the way Gary had to come back and answer. Gary still needs to have another mark right here.
There are a few things more frustrating to a guy than when he's trying to load and he comes right in on the head pin and then gets something like this.
Now, it is frustrating, especially when you know you have to have a mark. You know, you're up against a mark.
He didn't get the bang action he wanted out of that one.
I was curious as if he was going to try to use the wood or not. That was either way. He could have either gone for the split or played the wood like he did.
And back comes Tavernese, and he is filling.
Right, he has a strike in that 6th. He almost had another.
Joe just has that ball working right now.
He has
got a
the
tough
9
shot
pin to
here.
pick up.
The shot's not as easy as it looks.
Oh. No, you're right.
As you can see, either wood didn't carry the shot.
Joe's average is about 125. He's bowling well over that tonight.
It almost looked like a tired throw, Dick. You know, you bring it a little too much left, you know?
Yeah, that ball there, it did look like he tried to steer it a little bit. Just missed the head pin then.
Yeah, and left it.
Well, Joe left 2 open boxes there for Gary to make his comeback. And this is where Gary's got to do it.
This is where he's got to do it, is right. 4 boxes to go, and he's got to do it right now because he's opposite. 2
Gary's
boxes.
got his spare leave.
The wood, I would assume, is the only way you can try to make this baby, usually. He got it.
Right down the middle.
He split the dead with the wood that was sitting there in half. Just hit the red. Watch it, just
Right on the red line. Right on the red line.
Gary throws another mark here. It's going to be a very interesting last 2 boxes.
Thin hit, not what he wanted. He wanted the biggie, and he doesn't have an easy one to convert. Boy, get that 3-6 and try to get the 4. No. Now we come down to the last two boxes, and again, Joe Taverny's in the driver's seat at the moment.
Gary's got to hope that Joe opens up.
The advantage is 14 pins for Tavernese.
Joe has a shot here. You have to catch the end of the wood on the right-hand side, right at the 5 pin.
We've seen that leave on the right side, but without... And he made it.
That's a clutch ball. That's a clutch ball.
Whoa.
I believe that Phil is going to force Gary to get a double.
And a nice mark in the 9th, a high fill in here. This man is on a roll tonight.
He has it.
Another big fill. Gary's going to have to get a triple.
And 6 more. 141. Gary Carrington takes a look at the scoreboard, which Scott Philbrick is keeping for the folks here.
He's got to just get 49 pins just to match him or beat him.
And with only 2 boxes. No.
I think if he throws a triple in the last box, he still loses by 1, I think.
Right.
Yeah. Nope. Joe Taverny has done it again.
This is why Joe Tavernese and all these bowlers came here tonight. They want the opportunity to bowl for all the money. Bowl for the championship.
$1,000 went to Paul Berger, $1,500 to Tom Olszta, $2,500 goes to Gary Carrington, and Joe Tavernese is assured of at least $5,000 as he goes in the final 2 strings against our top seed, Gary Casey. And we will be getting to that exciting 2-string final, and you'll be seeing the man who eliminated Gary Carrington, or rather moved him down, eliminated him from the top spot, eliminated Bruno DeFeo. If you did not see him in action on the show that was telecast at noontime today, if you did, you're very anxious to see him. If not, all we can do is hope that the left-hander is just as hot as he was the last 2 times he was on the air. So we will be getting to Joe Tavernese, JT from Lynn, who is really hot, challenging Gary Casey right after this. Why is he leading off here? Well, because this is a 2-string match, and he will be bowling second in the 2nd string. So it's like the middle string of our regular show. Gary Casey, who had a phenomenal 2 weeks, and particularly the show that was aired at noontime today, just phenomenal.
Last 2 weeks, Gary's been throwing a lot of strikes. He had the triples 2 weeks ago and 2 sets of doubles today.
He bowled a 188 in his final string today.
All right, he starts on with a 9.
Hit 462 and became the top qualifier for this show.
There's the ball he threw this morning.
Yeah.
He has an unusual way of, with his right, once he puts the ball in his left hand, look like he cradles his fingers in his right hand to get comfortable. I noticed it when he rolled the triple last week. See, watch what he does with his right hand. He kind of rolls his fingers up there.
Right on it.
He's off to a good start.
John Bellanti of the Globe is right nearby, and he has pointed out that, give you an idea of how hot Joe Tavernese is. Coming into, moving up 3 steps on the step ladder, he rolled 11 spares and filled them with 5 strikes and 2 nines.
And here he goes again. He's delivered another spare, and it's with the extra balls that he has won, and he's able to move up.
Love called loud and clear by Don Riley. So they will be reset. And this will be his second ball and no fill on the spare.
Well, he's got to shake that one off and come right back. Almost made the spare.
He sure did.
He doesn't have a clean shot at the 10 pin.
But he got it.
Didn't need it.
That's not like Joe to lob either. You know, as long as I bowl with Joe, I've never seen him lob very often. He got called twice tonight.
Now we can, I'm sure nobody sympathizes more than Don Riley with Ralph Stewart, who sits at that spot. It's a tough one, because the fact is that both Ralph and Don are bowlers, and so you hate to call it on a guy. You hate to, but you have to.
And they know everybody involved, you know.
8 is the fill for Gary Casey, and he's left with the 1 and 2. Ooh.
Just missed it to the right.
Just missed it.
Gary's still trying to get rid of the butterflies.
I'm sure. Been sitting there for almost an hour.
This is a tough shot for a left-hander because his ball is going away from the 2 pins in the corner. But if I was him, I'd still try to split him.
How about that? I would imagine that Gary's under a lot of pressure, too, because of the publicity for what he did the last 2 weeks and what people are expecting of him.
This is true. I mean, especially when we started the show tonight, the announcement, and everybody saw here what he had done earlier today.
And you know, he's been bowling a long time, but he's only been on our show twice previous to this.
An experience.
So that's the second time in 3 boxes that Tavernese has marked, and Casey, out of the 4 he's bowled so far, has marked twice.
So much can happen in 2 strings.
Oh yeah, there's an opportunity for some very dramatic changes.
This is a tough shot for Joe. The way that wood was angled there, it just threw everything up against the wall and didn't go backwards for him.
Very nice catch. Okay, with Gary Casey having another bonus ball to roll, the score after 4 in the first of our 2 final strings is Casey 47, Taverny 46. One pin at the moment, but of course he is filling a spare in the 4th. He got 7.
Just to reset it for you, if you've just joined us, this is the first of the 2-string championship rollouts. So we're just halfway through the championship round. That'd have been a strike if it had been thrown by Roger Clemens or Tony Fosses, because he's a left-hander.
He got out of that box.
All right. It's an 8.
I thought he was going to go in the hole for a second time when he threw that last ball. That's not as easy as it looks either. He's got 3 or 4 pieces of wood right there.
It's not necessarily all in the right position. It looks as if, well, all he has to do is hit that front piece of wood.
Oh,
he got a break.
He stole that shot.
There were 5 pieces of wood laying down.
He got a break. He knows it. He'll take it.
Look at all the wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This game here, sometimes the wood hurts you more than it helps you.
Oh, sure. Joe Taverny. Little 2 full on the head pin.
Good try. Wants to get 9 out of this. Or 10.
It's a 9. I mentioned that Scott Philbrick was keeping score for the folks who are here. Al Giglio is keeping score on the electronic scoreboard as usual. And a very, very nice man who used to be coming to all of our shows, and when he couldn't come, he stayed at home, and he kept the score of every single one of our shows for years and years and years. And Stanley Sprychovich passed away on August the 15th, and we offer condolences to his family, and we want to say we miss him. He was a great guy.
Very good shot by Joe.
Joe Taverny takes a deep breath of air and sits down. He has bowled all evening long and leaves himself with a mark here in the 6th box.
Joe needed to match up the marks right there. Can't let Gary get too far ahead of him.
1, 2, 9, and 10, no wood.
Same shot, got to split the 2 and hope something happens. Hope the 1 comes off the wall.
It did.
Came off the wall, but didn't take the 10 out.
But he did what you have to do, and that is split the 1, 2. Good pinning. This program, of course, as you know, that is the noontime show, began in October of 1958, but we didn't go to the championship show, which was True Value show at that time, till 1976. And that was when...
Isn't that unusual?
It was Yellow Pages, and Max Valentin defeated Al Gallant by a score of 388 to 364. The first 7 of our shows were just the 2 top bowlers.
That was a good 10.
Nice shot.
You know, if I didn't know better, I'd swear that Tavernese had home alley advantage in this match.
You know, anybody that bowls out of Lynn and gets on the Channel 5 show, it seems like they bring half the town with them.
1, 8, 10.
Tough shot. Excellent try. I'm surprised that the 10 pin didn't carry.
9. Seven-pin lead at the moment in this. Remember, this is a 2-string final.
And remember, Joe Tavernese has been bowling since we went on the air.
This is the 3rd time we've seen this leave in 4 boxes.
Right, isn't that unusual?
And he did the same as Gary did. The only thing you can do is try to split the 2 of them and hope. So he lost a couple there. He was 6 behind, then he went to 7, then to 8.
Those 10s add up a lot when you're going 20 boxes. that's a big lob. That was a big ball to lob on.
Did he call a lob? Yes, he did.
It was a lob.
That hurts. He'll be thinking about that one.
Okay, second one. I could not hear, Don.
Each bowler's had a lob called on him at critical times. Both on mark.
Third lob call tonight.
Nine.
Lob call never comes at a good time, but at that point in the match, he had an obvious spare leave. He had an ability to mark in the box, have a bonus ball.
It's a tough spare lead, but again, if he splits the 2, he's got a little bit of help back there with the wood. Should carry into the 10. And caught her a little outside.
It's a 10.
Gary gave Joe an opening here to
117, he did. Yeah. Joe was unable to take advantage of it in the 7th and 8th boxes, but it wouldn't be a surprise if he's able to do it now.
And again, as we pointed out, this being a 2-string championship round, at least you don't face the pressure of throwing a lob in a 1-string roll.
right.
How come this triangle is missed so often?
Believe it or not, Don, it's made probably as many times as missed, if not more.
What you're saying is when guys like Joe Tavernese or Gary Casey are rolling it, because of the power, they're able to carry it through in many instances.
More times than not, they'll make that shot. You'll see a 2-pinners miss more than that sometimes.
That was a perfect way of playing the triangle on the last ball. Will it get over? No.
Joe got a big break having the 7-pin fall for him.
Sure
Now he's got
did.
Another split it and run him.
Yes!
Joe answered the call of that lob very well.
I was just going to say the same thing. We're looking at the lob now. The lob hits Gary Casey. He delivers that, and Joe Tavernese walks through that door that was wide open.
Very nice finish for Joe.
125 to 117. He came from
He's taking
8 pins
16
down
pins
to-
off that.
and picked up 16 pins to lead by 8 after the first of the 2. And don't forget, we have the big final string coming up, and they're still only 8 pins apart as they go into it. This is in no way a blowout.
No, it's still an even game.
And it could go right down to the wire. So right after this, we'll be back for that big final string. There's the man. He's been climbing the ladder ever since we came on, and he's now into the final string. Can he go all the way for $10,000? JT Joe Tavernese of Lynn. He leads off here in the 3rd string.
And at the end of the 1st string, he made a 16-pin swing from being down 8 pins to being up 8 pins.
What an excellent try he just made.
A 10. Missed the head pin.
You have to play it just like you would the 4 horsemen and just act like the back pin's not there.
And then hope something comes back and gets it.
Right.
All right. He did apparently the way Tommy did, so almost as if he was trying to make a domino effect and had concentrating too hard maybe on the back pin.
I have a feeling he was probably trying to split him and it just got away from him a little bit.
All right, a 10 and an 8. Remember, an 8-pin lead in the match for Tavernese after one of the two finals. Now let's see what Gary Casey can do. No wood. 1, 2, 4.
Split the shot, should carry. Played it out.
Yes.
And remember, with there being an 8-pin deficit through boxes scored, this mark here and now a free ball gives him a chance to bite into it right in his first box.
This match is going to go right down to the last box, I believe.
Big Phil.
Big 9.
Big 9 and a very good shot for another one.
There are two pieces of wood in front of the 7 standing there.
Those are the kind of shots that bowlers like to look at. One finished with big pieces of wood.
And then the only worry then is, oh, I hope I don't lob.
Right.
Joe may be a little tired, which is quite understandable.
Joe got lucky on that one. That was a big break for Joe. He needed that.
As Brooks Robinson once said, it's sometimes better to be lucky than good, you know?
This is true.
Yeah, as the piece came spinning back into it, it did look like, once again, one of those triangles was going to be not converted. There's a break.
That's a big fill, too.
That's a real big break.
Two in a row.
He answered the call of Geary very well.
Sure did.
Casey started off this string with 2 marks, and Tavernese has just delivered 2 of his own.
2 marks in a row for Gary Casey. See Steve Reno over his shoulder there. Steve's been here before. Didn't make it this year.
Same shot as last box for Gary.
All right. It's the one he converted for the previous spare. 1, 2, and 4.
That time he split the 2.
Before he hit it on top, yes.
3rd mark in a row, which, as a sidelight, offers him some bonus money, but far more important than that.
Well, each one of these guys is assured right now. He knows he's going home with $5,000 at least.
I wish I was going home with him.
He hated to miss the head pin there. All right, it's 4 horsemen left side and the opposite corner, the 10.
He splits those 2. That wood in the back there should roll over and take out the 10.
Yes!
Just like you diagrammed it, Coach.
And you saw it go.
4 marks in a row.
4 marks in a row for Gary Casey. And that puts him right now, with the bonus ball still to be thrown, at 52. And Joe Tavernese right now at 46. Boxes 5 and 6 coming up right now in the final string for Joe Tavernese.
Come on, Joe, baby. Lay it in there. Joe would like to throw a big ball right here.
He would not like to throw that ball.
Tough leave. Yeah, got to go for the bunch.
He has left 3. The 3, 6, and 10 with wood between 6 and 10. They go. It's a 10. What we're laughing at is Scott Philbrick is right out in the open where everybody can see him, obviously, because he's doing a scoreboard for the folks who are here. And he just made a mistake, and the crowd got on him. But he had a sign that he put on.
It said, "Quiet down, I'm a rookie." You think this is easy, you come down and do it.
Right.
Through it all, Joe Tavernese has put up back-to-back 10s here in the 5th and 6th boxes.
He just,
The irony is he's had a 7 in that box.
he put a 7 up after he took it out, and it turned out that it is a 7, and now he's got to write it in again. Oh, well. Let's see.
Try to go down by the 7 pin. Maybe
Let's see whether he can make this or not. No. Nine.
Gary could put a lot of pressure on Joe right now. If he should leave another knock. He's got the spare lead.
Sure has. Whoa, look at that.
He's got to go right at the pin, just like the wood wasn't there.
It has rolled away, so now
It rolled away, but before it was almost perpendicular to it. Yes, he got it.
So he'll be throwing a bonus ball when he steps up in the 7th box, and he has the 10-pin advantage.
No, Joe's got some wood in there, so it should help him out.
Yes,
Got it.
yes, a big spare for Joe Taverny.
Joe had to have that mark right there. Gary's up by a few pins plus a mark.
Big 8, but most important, 2 pins close together.
He's got one to hit. Hits the front one that should carry. The wood should help him out.
Yes, he has it.
We're looking at one tired bowler who's putting up a gallant fight. Joe Tavernese was in the first coupling to go off here tonight, and here he is, right in the championship round.
He's been bowling since we came on the air. Now our top seed, excuse me.
Joe's always been a tough competitor.
Look at this.
There's a big break. What looked like might be a split turned into a one spinner with a piece of wood.
He gets 9, and he has a single pin to pick up, but the wood allows him to do it. He did.
So he filled the mark that he left in the previous box with 9 and is marked in 2 consecutive.
Going right down to the wire again. That one got away from him a little bit. Tough shot. You just got to get the bunch right in the pocket.
I'm not sure whether he can or not, but we'll try. By the way, well, I'm not going to say anything until this goes. Nope, he didn't. Gives me a chance to remind everybody that starting Saturday, August 31st, and throughout the fall, the noontime show is going to move to 11 a.m. That, of course, is on account of Channel 5's college football coverage. So remember, 11 a.m. if you're watching us on Channel 5. But check your local listings for Channel 40 in Springfield. I think it's going to be shown on Sundays at 12:30, but I'm not sure. Joe Tavernese now for his final 2. He gets 7.
Gary Casey left it there for him, too, with the 8 in the 8th box.
Joe needed another spare leave, which he doesn't have.
Nope. If he had just been able to kick that 3-pin over.
Nice 10.
The 10.
Gary Casey is just sitting in the chair trying to remain composed, but he knows, as tight as it is, and it is very tight.
Still make it interesting with another mark.
It's going to be tough because
We saw him make it earlier.
1, 3, 6, and 9 on the right, 4 and 7 on the left, and nope. So that would seem to assure Gary Casey of having a phenomenal day.
Right.
A 6.
Tavernese has had a terrific day. He was the fourth seed
What a-
when we began play tonight. He beat Paul Berger. He is drawing the applause from an appreciative crowd.
The crowd is really supporting him.
Gary Casey's had a fantastic 2 weeks.
He sure has.
It's like Andy Warhol said, everybody's famous for 15 minutes.
A little longer than 15 for him. Oh, he almost pulled it off.
That should do it, huh?
128. And of course,
He has a six-pin lead already.
Yeah, Joe had won the first string by 8.
So let's see what he's got here.
Oh, what a way to finish!
Excellent finish.
He rolled 3 strikes in a row.
Last shot.
Oh, he almost did it.
Almost a double.
Almost.
Excellent finish.
$10,000 goes to Gary Casey. What a day. Earlier today, he rolled a 188 third string. Actually, that show was taped before it was aired today, but you saw him today roll a 188 third string and take over first place. And he proved tonight that what he did on the last 2 shows previous to this were not flukes by any stretch of the imagination. There is Gary Casey. And I'm telling you, he was under enormous pressure.
He made a real great comeback. He had like 8 boxes, lost 10 boxes.
And you touched on the point earlier in the show, Don, about the pressure he put on himself, assuming the #1 seed in that position, yet he was able to deliver tonight.
And of course, you know, you put on that little piece about him earlier in the show, and so everybody, he knew that he had to perform. Okay, we'll be back with the presentation of the prizes right after this. Yeah, I know it does seem like a long time ago. $1,000 for Paul and a trophy, and I expect to see you here again next year. You seems like you're always here.
Keep trying, that's all.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Tommy Olszta.
I'll tell you what, Tommy, our congratulations. I've seen you roll in doubles the last 8 weeks. I expected to see you here at 8 o'clock, you know.
Well, it was fun. It was fun. We got it.
We thank you for making it fun, too. Thanks.
Gary Carrington. Son of a gun. It's always nice to have you here, and it was a disappointing day for you when that tape rolled at noontime.
Yeah. Gary bowled a great string. You know, he bowled a great triple, great string. 188 in that kind of position. That's an awesome string. And then he comes and finishes it off tonight. Very good.
Joseph was rather impressive. Yes, I
Very
had
good.
that. Yes. $2,500.
Joe is great.
It's not the big one. It's not the big one that you expected that you were going to walk away with, but
okay.
It's always nice to have you here, Gary. Okay, Joe Taverny. I would say that Joe, you are obviously the people's choice tonight.
Oh, I guess so, huh? What a day.
Well, what a day, yeah. You came in here and you started off with a bang, and did you feel as soon as you started, the way it started, that this was going to be
Yeah, I really did. I bowled great. Gary he came on that last string and did very well. But just happy to be here. Be here is great.
I know you feel that way, but every time you're on our program, you still roll well. And how come there are only about 5 or 6 people who come here to root for you? Huh?
Yeah, I know.
Seems like
Oh,
about
this is
half
great.
the city
Hey,
of Lynn is here.
This
Huh?
is what it's all about. This is what it's all about.
Now, how did you feel? First, I know this is a stupid question. But I'm going to ask him. How did he feel when he had the lob called on him?
When I had the lob, when I got that last 9 drop, I said, I ain't lobbing this one, right? Yeah, I was out here someplace.
Now, did it make any difference to you the fact that you had to bowl so many, or is
I don't know. I did get a little, but I didn't throw the ball that great towards the end there. I think it.
You figure you get a little bit tired?
Yeah, but still, hey, it was meant to be. He won it.
Well, I know.
Great.
It was hard-earned sweat, though.
Yeah,
Look at him.
I lost about 10
That's
pounds.
a working man.
About 10 pounds.
That's a very nice trophy, but also, I don't have it in my hand here, but you know that you are going to receive, in addition to the bonus money, you're also going to receive a check for $5,000.
That's right.
I'll take it, baby.
Okay, Joe, and
thanks, Don.
obviously the crowd loves you.
Thank you.
Nice job, Joe.
Thanks.
I want to tell you, you had more... I'm trying to kill you here with my microphone. There.
He didn't have as much trouble winning.
You were under enormous pressure, I know, because, I mean, of what happened, what was written in the newspapers, what this guy put on earlier this evening to show everybody. And then you knew that everybody was waiting to see, is this guy for real? There's no question about that.
Yeah. Well, they say
I think they know that you're
Give it
for
a
real
while.
now. Think of all the years that you kept trying, huh?
Oh, a long time.
And
Long
then all
time.
of a sudden...
Well, make us worthwhile now.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
It just took us too many years to find him. That's all,
right.
Don.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was just hiding.
You were hiding, yeah. Well, you're going to have a little vacation, as you know, because starting with our September 7th show, the women return. Our current champion, Kathy Dunn of Hanson, is going to face the challenger, Joanne Rosano of Weymouth. So you're going to be away for about a couple of months. And tell me, since you happen to have, in addition, as I said to Joe, a trophy, you also have $10,000.
Yeah,
Have you already decided what you might do with that?
Not really. Not really.
I thought maybe you'd be like...
She did.
She has. It's already been spent.
Yeah. But
And we also talked about, you know, the fact that I almost said your father. He seems like your father. Your uncle, Ray Casey, who was on our show how many years ago? About 25 years ago or so.
Yeah.
And he was the very first to roll 3 strikes in a row. So, of course, when you come on, you were under no pressure to no, not at all. No. So what did you do? You rolled 3 strikes in a row. And then you came on, and, of course, after 2 strings last week, what'd you have, 138? No, whatever.
136.
Yeah. And so all you needed then was a 152 in order just to make in the show and to get by Bruno DeFeo. I almost made him Bruce. But it's been a fantastic time for you, and I think that the crowd here would appreciate the fact that there couldn't have been a better final with 2 bowlers than Joe Tavernese and Gary Casey. Really, it was just wonderful, and I'm so happy for you, really. And I know that Eddie is also.
Congratulations.
So
Nice job.
you'll rest, take a vacation, and I'll be seeing you in a couple of months. Okay? All right. What did you think of that?
A couple of great champions. I'm very impressed with the way Gary Casey was able to withstand the pressure of waiting to bowl tonight and then bowling. And I am always impressed with fellows like what Joe did, starting off bowling in our first match tonight and able to make it all the way to 8 o'clock at night. It was obviously a tired man, but it was a well-earned champion. It was a great show.
I think he's happy even if he's tired.
Well, I would think so, yeah.
Okay, listen, I think we had a great evening, and I'm happy I'm here. I'm glad that you were here with me, and all you folks here, and the folks out there. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.